Hi guys. So yeah, it's been quite a while since I started recording again. But let's get back into it. Why don't we? All right, currently my room is a little bit messy. You guys can't see it, but yeah, quite the mess. Wait for it to focus. So we're gonna have to get it cleaned. Let's get to it. Alright, so I kind of wanted to make a video today just because, I haven't made one in a while. First, mainly, I think I really need to focus on, just the stuff on the ground because that's what's really making it, look really bad right now. As you guys can see, I have a bunch of clothes on the ground, stuff like that, But yeah, I mean, in this video, I think I mainly just wanted to talk about how to not be stuck in life as a teenager. These past couple of weeks, I've been learning how to take care of myself because recently I got a new car. These past couple of days of taking care of this car, which is actually quite a privilege. I learned a lot from my brothers, basically just my whole family, and they've taught me a lot of good things. So I think as I'm doing laundry and soon to be doing homework, I'll tell you guys my tips to studying better and actually getting your homework done on time, as well as how to not get stuck as a teen. Dude, in sophomore year, I felt stuck, honestly. I really didn't know what to do. But now I feel like this year I still feel stuck. I've definitely reflected millions of times on how to do things better and what I could have done to be better. Now, the first tip I'll give you guys right now is that nobody cares. I mean, think about it. Did any of you watching this video really pay attention to what I just said right now? The answer is probably no, but that's okay. That's a prime example. All right, I'm back cleaning. Well, better yet, I'm back from cleaning. And here's my setup. Pretty nice, It's I would say it's a little messy, but, it's okay. Stuff happens. And right here, I'm not sure if you guys can see. Right here, I have a list of things that I wanted to talk about today. If you guys could focus. It's kind of backwards, but basically what it is just stuff I wanted to talk about in this video. And the title is How to Not Get Stuck as a Teenager. Let's get into it. All right, so the first step to not getting stuck as a teenager, right, is learning how to prioritize your life. We have many things in life. For example, me, I have cutting hair. I used to play football, and, I have my computer, I have my camera, I love taking pictures, as well as I like playing guitar, but not as much, I really enjoy music and other stuff like that. These things, they make us up as a person, right? And we need to learn how to prioritize more important things over less important things. Try to think of life like a stovetop. All right, try to imagine you have 5 on your stovetop, and the first front 2 are your most important priorities. This could be either school or your future job, anything that will bring you future goodness. Now, the last couple of stovetops in the back, right? These could be your hobbies or things that bring you happiness. Of course, your more important things should bring you happiness as well, but it should probably be more long-term. So, examples of what could be on the back of the stove, right? It would be taking pictures or playing guitar or shoes or your computer setup or gaming. We have many of these different things that make us happy, but we probably shouldn't prioritize them over things like school, education, a job, or relationships, perhaps. That leads me on to my next topic, which is to set long-term goals for yourself, probably in a year range. Now, the idea of a New Year's resolution doesn't come from anywhere. In fact, if it is an idea, then that means it was once popular and believed in. A New Year's resolution is a personal promise or intention made at the start of the new year to improve oneself, change a habit like quitting smoking or exercising more, or to achieve a specific goal, leveraging the fresh start to focus on self-improvement. Now, as we know, most of the time, New Year's resolutions don't work for shit. And this is often because we get motivated, right, at the start of the year, try to change ourselves, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't work at all. But how about this? What if we created a resolution for ourselves, perhaps in the middle of the year, perhaps like June, August, maybe at the start of the school year? It would completely drastically change the way resolutions are made. For example, for school, you could probably say one of your resolutions is to have a 4.0 GPA or 3.0 GPA, or heck, even a 2.0 GPA if you choose to prioritize sports. It's not necessarily a bad idea to do all of that, right? As these are just examples. Personally, one of my long-term goals was to make enough money for my car, my family, me, like hobbies and stuff like that, right? And personally, I prioritize some relationships in my life, like my parents, my brothers. I would gladly like to pay it forward near the end. This leads on to the next step, which is create short-term goals for yourself, preferably in a month range. Some goals like this would be try to learn a new song on guitar, or perhaps practice your sport and get better at it potentially. Or another would be make up enough money to get some clothes that you'd really like. You know, there's stuff like this that like keeps you going, you know, keeps you sane, and overall just makes you want to get up for that day specifically. Ultimately, what these goals do for you, right, is you create an intended purpose for yourself. That way you're not stuck in life, like I said in the title of the video. Someone very wise once told me, my brother, is that the meaning of life is to give it meaning. And honestly, ever since he told me that, that's all I have been thinking about. And he's not wrong. Every day we keep trying to find the meaning of life if you're really that into it, right? But honestly, all it is just you trying to create a rubric for yourself and fulfill it, right? So don't sell yourself short. Do something that is achievable. All right, the next step is specifically for, you know, teenagers and stuff that you need to do, right? Like tasks and stuff like that, is to use the Eisenhower matrix. The Eisenhower matrix, for example, is a chart which is basically a Punnett square. You have 4 boxes, right? And in each side and corner, you put important, not important, urgent, and not urgent. In the first box, it would be the important and urgent stuff. In the second box to the right of that, it would be the not important but urgent stuff. And the third box in the first column would be important stuff but not urgent stuff. And finally, the last box would be not important and not urgent stuff. Ultimately, what this does for you is it creates a sense of what needs to be done and a sense of responsibility for your tasks. I have found this method very useful, and honestly, ever since I've been using it, it makes me realize how important each part of my homework is from each of my different classes. For example, in the urgent and important box, I would probably put my AP Lang and AP US History homework. These homeworks usually have strict deadlines that cannot be surpassed. One class that I would put in the important box would probably be physics. Physics homework is very important for me to know, and if I skip one day of it, I basically lose all the knowledge. It's hard for me to recover back. Anyways, to sum it up, I think this Eisenhower matrix thing, it really works a lot if you're unorganized, right? Or if the school planner that the school offers you doesn't work as much. Instead of using those lines that restrict you from having your ideas out and being able to do your homework properly, just create a little box next time, man. Figure out what's important, urgent, what needs to be done first, you know, what you could do last. It's important to sort these things out so you know what to do. All right, leading on to a more broad subject, right? So honestly, don't restrict yourself to one thing, you know. For example, if you really love high school football and you think that you have a future going on for you, don't believe that you're 100% going to make it. I know it sounds really obvious, but kids our age, they tend to not realize that. You know, these past couple months, I've realized how important it is to keep my avenues open, because at the end of the day, we don't know what we're gonna do or what we are gonna be when we grow up. You know, for example, I've looked into psychiatry, I've looked into psychology, I've looked into engineering multiple times. But honestly, I'm really taking an interest into this content creation stuff. You know, maybe dabble it into a little bit of psychiatry or psychology. You know, I'm really interested in how people's minds work and the reason why they think the way they do today. You know, I often find teens just misdirected or misguided. Honestly, it hurts me to not help in any way, and I feel that with my YouTube videos, I'll be able to help you guys. That's one of my motives for this channel. Another avenue that I would love to explore is somewhere in the IT business. I built this computer on my own, and I would like to upgrade it soon, and I obviously know the parts in it and what they do. Even at the young age of 16, right, I know what everything does. And of course that isn't rare, but it could definitely be used for myself in many different ways. I mean, overall, I think that's really it. I mean, the most important thing for us teenagers to do right now so that we are ready for the real world is to prioritize things that are most important and dearly to us. If you're putting anything that isn't required for you to figure out what you want to do in your future in front of your future, then seriously, what are you doing? You know, we're all high schoolers and we're getting to the age where we need to prepare for the big life ahead of us. Now, I know that's not what many of you want to hear, but I'll be the one to tell you guys. Now, I hope you guys don't take that in a negative way. You could definitely just click out this video if you want. It's not gonna hurt you or me. Now, an example of learning how to prioritize your life, right? For example, me. This year, I was on the football team as well as last year, but the way I thought of football was a way to hang out with friends. It was a way to mess around. Of course, there were times where I tried to take it seriously, but of course, I always just ended up being the quiet one. I'm sure many of us who has played or have been playing sports in the past couple of years of our life have experienced looking at our grades and realizing, oh dang, my grades are dropping right now. And personally, I'm one of those people that would like to prioritize grades over sports. Of course, that differs for everybody, right? But personally, I realized that okay, well, in the next 5 years, sports isn't gonna do me well, right? It's not worth the pain and struggle to sacrifice my grade right now if I cannot manage both at the same time. Now, I know there are gonna be plenty of people, right, who probably think, oh yeah, you should, if you're a man, you should just finish what you started, right? But personally, I feel like you're a bigger man if you realize what's bad for you and if you quit them. And yeah, there we go. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and endure something that I don't like, that I'm not gonna get any reward for. Another way of prioritizing life is putting things on top of another. For example, hanging out with your friends instead of doing your project assignment that is due tomorrow and is worth 20% of your grade. You know, often we cannot hold ourselves accountable for the things we do. So the next time you think about going out with your friends and skipping out on a huge project that's due at 11:59 p.m., think about the consequences that are to come. And if you are not ready to face those consequences, then don't hang out with your friends and do that freaking project. Now, all of these seem really simple, I know, but it is a good start to where I want to be with this YouTube channel. And I know I didn't do my homework today in this video, but I'll get to it in a little bit, don't worry. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you guys like content like this, you know, leave a like or comment, you know, down below in the comment section. If you guys would want more different type of videos, let me know as well. That way I could change it up, switch it up a little bit. Thank you guys for your time. Bye.